I'm not blind. I can see it. And you spelled trap wrong. It's T-R-A-P-P. What's up, everybody? My name is Scott and you're watching Kentucky Ballistics, and today we're going to do a very interesting experiment. One that I'm excited about, but also kind of dreading because it's going to be slightly gross. When I was in law enforcement, I heard multiple stories of body fat saving people's lives. Their extra body fat stopped the rounds before they made it to vitals. So today we're going to find out if those stories are true or if they're tall tales. I have a ballistic dummy lab zombie torso. This has lifelike organs and bones and has been zombified with green blood. And then we have the fat. I considered using lard, ballistic gel, or some other substance, but I really wanted to be scientific today. So we have roughly 100 pounds of beef fat. It's needless to say that today's video is definitely a time-sensitive one. I ordered all of this beef fat online. It came to me frozen in 2-pound packages. I had to thaw all of it out and then dump it all into these vacuum-sealed packs that are made for clothes. It's about 13 inches wide and about 30 inches long. As you can imagine, that was a pretty long and tedious process, and it was not a cheap one. So if you could do me a favor and you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button.
Do it!
So the plan for today's video is to shoot this beef fat with multiple calibers and see if it stops the rounds before it makes it to the zombie. Let's go grab our first gun and get started. All right, we're gonna start out with the smallest round I have, which is a 22 short hollow point, and I'll be using this little 22 short revolver. If I had to guess, I think the zombie's gonna be okay. Okie dokie, let's see. We hit right there, and yeah, no, not even close. 22 short did not do much, and I don't expect this to do much either. A 22 long rifle, and I'll be using a Ruger LCR 22. Okay, looks like I hit right here, and I mean, there's really no point in even looking. I would almost guarantee that that did not, no, nowhere near making it through all that fat. 22 short and 22 long rifle have done absolutely nothing. So now I'm gonna try 22 Magnum, and I'll be using a North American Arms 22 Magnum Derringer. Here we go. I feel like it moved a little bit. I hit right here. Oh, it made it through the back, and there it is right there. It's right there in the zombie, but it lost pretty much all of its power and would not have hit the zombie's vitals. I also shot a little high, and I feel like it didn't have as much fat to go through, but that was still quite a bit of fat. So it looks like extra body fat would indeed be beneficial against a 22 Magnum. So we managed to make it through the body fat with the 22 Magnum. But what's gonna happen when we hit it with something like a 5.7? This is a Smith & Wesson M&P 5.7, and I'm gonna be loaded up with some of the blue tip 5.7 rounds. Here we go. Oh! I think we're starting to lose our seal here. So I hit in this area here, right there. And let's see if I made it through the back. Nope, it does not look like I did. Looks like all of the beef fat stopped the 5.7. Oh no. Oh no. This thing, oh, we may have some technical difficulties here. So one thing that I failed to think about was that these vacuum packs are kind of paper thin. And once I started shooting it, it lost all of its vacuum abilities. The fat started to spill out, and I definitely did not want that. So it kind of mushed down into a new shape. We have about 16 inches of fat now, and I reinforced the front with duct tape. So we're not going to see a whole lot going on in the front, but we will still be able to tell if we make it through the back. Okay, I think it's time to step it up. I have now a Springfield Armory Ronin 9mm, and I'm going to be loaded with some Underwood ammo, 147 grain jacketed hollow points, and these are plus P. We are really about to put this fat to the test. Here we go. Ooh. We hit right there. Looks like the duct tape is doing a good job at holding all our fat in. And, oh, did we? Nope. Nope, not a thing. The 16 inches of fat stopped the 9mm. I figured that that would have blown through there, especially with the 22 mag managing to make it through. That being a heavier bullet, with it being plus P, I thought I had a good shot, but apparently not. So our next step up naturally has to be 45 ACP. That's an Underwood ammo, 230 grain jacketed hollow point, and I'll be using my AMT backup 45. Okie dokie. Let's see what happens. Oh! We hit pretty much the same spot right here. Moment of truth. Oh! It made it through. It made it through the fat. And it did make it into the zombie. So, the fat slowed down the 45 quite a bit. And it made it into the zombie, but I would say only a few inches. It's interesting to me that the 9mm did not make it through, but the 45 did make it through. That still, though, is not very much damage to the zombie. So up next, we are going to step it up to 357 Magnum. This is a Kimber K6S, and I'll be using some Underwood ammo, 158 grain jacketed hollow points. Not gonna lie, that's pretty disgusting. Oh, that's why my duct tape done busted. Let's go ahead and patch that real quick before we lose all our fat there. Let's see. Now let's check the back here. We do appear to have a new hole, which is so weird. It's right where the 45 hit. So after further inspection, I can actually see the 45. It's lodged right in there. And now I'm not so sure about the 357 Magnum. It looks like it kind of took the same wound channel, but I do not see any bullets inside here, so I don't think it made it very far. So it turns out trying to shoot a bunch of fat is a little more difficult than I thought. I'm going to reinforce this front part just a little more because we're starting to have some spillage. I've also decided to move the fat up a little bit. That way we have a good view of the back so we can see if anything makes it out and when it hits the dummy. Okay, we are all set back up again, and we're going to go ahead and step it up to something a little bit bigger, a 44 Magnum. This is a Smith & Wesson Combat Magnum, and I'll be using some Underwood ammo, 44 Magnum, 240 grain jacketed hollow points. All right, well, I expect this to just completely bust my bag open. Here we go. Oh! I saw something hit the ground right here. Oh, it's the bullet. There's the bullet. Look at that expansion. I bet you that is hot. That is hot. That is really hot. Okay, so 44 mag went through all of the fat, blew out the back, hit the zombie, but did not have enough energy to penetrate the zombie. So, this looks a little thicker now. I'm gonna go with about 17 inches of fat. Would potentially stop a 44 Magnum from hitting vitals. The 44 Magnum was no match for 16 inches of fat, but I think this next caliber may do the trick. This is my Desert Eagle chambered in 50 AE, and I'll be loaded up with some Underwood ammo, 300 grain, jacketed hollow points. I tell you what, the range is not gonna smell very good after today. Oh! I'm not really sure what happened here. This is rather disgusting. Oh gosh, all right. So we went through the fat and it looks like we hit the zombie. And he's got a little bit of fat splatter right here. We've got some jacket. Uh-oh, okay. So he got hit right there. Did not make it through the back. Just wondering how far in there is that? Okay, I can feel it in there. So it's about 4 inches deep in there. Get your mind out of the gutter. Now listen, that would have potentially been fatal. That definitely made it through all the fat and for sure made it to some vitals. The 50 AE did a really good job at making it through that fat and into the zombie. I think that this one will probably do a good job as well. This is a 500 Smith & Wesson Magnum with an 8 3/8 inch barrel, and I'll be using some Underwood ammo, 350 grain jacketed hollow points. Oh, we are about to have some splatter. Oh no! Oh gosh, that's just disgusting, and I can smell it. Blech. Okay, I'm not setting that there. All right. Oh. Okay. Well, if you have a look here on the table, you'll see that right there is the round. It expanded quite nicely, made it through a lot of fat. I hit a little lower. So I think there was more fat compressed down there. And it appears that I hit the zombie somewhere in this area, but did not penetrate any further. Our results with this fat are not necessarily consistent, but what I am finding is that fat does a really good job at making bullets expand and lose energy. It seems like if we hit a really good thick spot, it is 100% slowing that round down and stopping it before it can get to vitals. But if we hit a spot that's not so compressed, we are making it through. As of right now, I'm gonna say that if you have enough fat, that you are potentially safer. Okay, well, where do we go from here? You know, I really don't want to touch all that and put it in another bag. I hope that bag's gonna rip. Oh, it's kind of spilling out the sides. Oh, ew, I am really regretting deciding to make this video. This is gross. There's a lot of blowout over here. Tell you what, I'm gonna try to patch this real quick the best that I can, and then we're gonna step it up to a shotgun.
2 hours later.
All right, so I just went ahead and decided to put all of the beef fat in another fresh bag and secure it with some tape. I ran out of duct tape, so I'm using electrical tape. Interesting, I found the 22 long rifle when I emptied the bag. And you're probably wondering, why didn't you film it? Why didn't you show you emptying the bag? And trust me, you don't even want to see that. I did you a favor. It was disgusting. We had some really interesting results with the pistol, so now I'm very excited to try out a shotgun and a few rifles. We're going to be using 12 gauge. This is 2 3/4 inch double-aught buck, and I have a Mossberg pump action shotgun. I'm pretty much out of bags, so I'm really hoping this doesn't fall apart. Oh! Well, you know what they say, there ain't nothing like a 12 gauge for home defense. That is a lot of damage. But there's a little hole. And actually there's the pellet right there on the table. I'm gonna say that the fat did a pretty good job at stopping the 12 gauge. I mean, it absorbed a lot of energy, but it was not able to make it all the way through the fat and do vital damage to the dummy. Well, I'm gonna say that our giant bag of fat is hanging on by a thread. So we're gonna try and finish this up before it completely falls apart. We're gonna step it up to a rifle. This is a Kel-Tec SU-16 chambered in 5.56/223. These are 223 62 grain controlled chaos made by Underwood ammo. Let's see if it makes it through that fat. All right, here we go. This is definitely one of my grosser videos. I'm so sorry. I really am starting to regret this idea. Okay, so I hit it with the 223. Looks like I have a new hole right here. There's the round. It is right there. I mean, it did not make it very far into the zombie at all. Ugh. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and use a 308. This is some Underwood ammo, 175 grain controlled chaos, and I'm gonna be using a Springfield Armory SOCOM 16. This is gonna be gross. Oh! Ugh. I am very glad that this video is almost over. I reviewed the slow-mo footage before coming up here, and it appears that the round probably broke up quite a bit, and we have some of the pieces of the round here on the table, but it doesn't appear anything did damage to the zombie. He does not appear to have any new holes. This fat has done an excellent job at stopping just about everything we've thrown at it, but I don't think it's going to stop this. This is a 5.77 Tyrannosaur. That is a 750 grain solid, and I'll be using my A-square 5.77 Tyrannosaur bolt action rifle. Okay, say goodbye, Mr. Zombie. No! Oh! I'm going to be honest. I was not ready for the 5.77 T-Rex. So that about knocked me on my tushy. And I don't think that the zombie was ready for it either. We blew through all the fat and blew the fat all over the place. And we blew through the zombie and we blew through a giant cinder block. So my conclusion when it comes to fat, if there's enough of it, it's going to do a decent job at stopping some pistols and some rifles. But when it comes to a dinosaur rifle, well, you're going to need a little more meat on your bones. Well, that's going to be it for today's video. Let me know what you thought about it in the comment section down below, and what other science experiments would you like to see on the channel. If you enjoyed today's video, do me a big favor and give it a like. And if you're not subscribed to Kentucky Ballistics, do yourself a favor and hit that subscribe button. Also be sure and check me out on Kentucky Customs, Kentucky Ballistics Shorts, Patreon, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Links to all those can be found in the description down below, along with a link to KentuckyBallistics.com, just in case you want to pick up a shirt. And as always, my name is Scott. Thank you so much for watching Kentucky Ballistics. I'll see you next time.